Alright, welcome to SC Custom Designs. I decided to do one more episode on the shelf for the super awesome coffee table, which is over there. Please follow the series. Every step of this process creation has been recorded. And we know that you're going to get your own experience on this if you haven't already, that you need to do what we call dry fits. And dry fitting is simply taking whatever the pieces are and fitting them together. There's nothing worse, more shocking, upsetting, disappointing than you got the glue out, you got your clamps, everything is there, you're in the moment, your head's clear, and then you go to clamp something up and it's not going together. So what you want to do is a dry fit. An example of a dry fit would be my the coffee table. So over here, okay, all the pieces are clamped together like so, and I know that it's going to glue up just fine because it's dry fitted. And I'm not going to make the assumption that with this that everything is just going to go according to plan. Well, it did for this one here. But we're going to show you how we do this and skip the video if this is something that's just not exciting for you. I already know this stuff. I like to do videos and capture every part of the process. So really, obviously you want to make sure that your biscuits are centered as much as possible. Okay? And, before I forget, I want to show you a tool. This is actually for tiling, I believe, that I use to pull the biscuits out. Because, let's do the math here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 30 biscuits gonna have to get out from the unit. So this is really convenient. Or pliers, whatever. So let's go ahead and do this thing. What I like to do is come down to its level, start on one side, in this case I'll start on my left, and just start setting it down very gently. Get an idea how this is going to go. Okay, it looks like it's going to go just fine. Again, another check, and now just gently tap down. Gentle. Because if something isn't seated, then you're going to break a biscuit or do something like this. So let's go ahead. I'm feeling confident. I'm going to hit a little bit harder. And looks like we're almost there. Now in theory, I could stop smacking it at this point because I'm feeling pretty confident. Then I can use a clamp. Let's grab a clamp from over here. Make sure you can still see what I'm saying here. Yes. And then very gently pull it together. Looks like this clamp is barely big enough to do the job, so let's get a longer one. All right. And there we go. Again, re-verify that looks like it's going in fine for you. If it doesn't go in with a clamp, then it's probably not going to go in. All right. So that's really what I wanted to show you. Honestly, the first one went in a lot easier. It's probably because I'm videoing now. That's why it's giving me some problems. So at any rate, this is what you do. And one way or another, you're going to see whether everything is working out for you. And while I have it all clamped up, I'll probably mark it off so that I know which ones are going to go into which ones. Now I have my lines and so on and so forth that I put into the stock, but why not do that right away? So then what you're doing by doing this is it's going to make, when you're actually clamping up and gluing, it's going to make it that much easier for it to go in. So there we go. Looking good. Looking good, my friends. So I think you get the idea. So that's what you want to do. And now comes the arduous part where I have to carefully take it apart. And you're gonna want to make any adjustments with your biscuit joining. For example, you may have to recavitize, it's my new word, in the area where it just didn't go in for you. Again, this side here went in just wonderful. This side here, not so much. I have a suspicion why that is. He is over this way too far. So you take yourself a condenser, hopefully something that's not like a rubber mallet. What you're going to do. Sorry, I'm going to bag that out real quick. Grab a rubber mallet, not a black one, because that'll mar your wood. I have this mallet here, which is beaded, which is awesome. It's beaded so that you can very gently tap in the deal. All right, so we're going to move him that way. Okay, let's not drop him off the table. A little bit more. And guess what? He's going down now. There you go. So there's always a thing. And again, what I know this, if we're actually gluing up, that would be a real troublesome time to figure out that something was off. Okay, so I'm going to take you off the stand so you can see. So for the most part, oh my goodness, yeah, he's together. If I take the clamps again, it'll probably come together for me. Here's the one. These newer clamps, Irwin's. The technology is so much smarter than the older ones. It only helps that we get smarter as we grow older, even the equipment that we're using. All right. So, if you're just joining the series, you won't appreciate the fact that we're near the end, and no worries, because every step of the way has been recorded. I mean, everything. How to taper a leg using the taper jig, which is there. How to make panels. Look at these gorgeous panels, my friends. We use the bench dog router table. The 3.5 inch fraud bit, it's probably not in there. More Tyson tenon, which is up here. How to make more Tyson tenon. Dovetail. We made the dovetail on the dovetail jig, which is not over there. It's been over there for a long time. I must have stowed it back down in there. It is good from time to time to put your tools away, don't you think? All right, so And this, of course, was biscuit jointed. And you've seen a lot of biscuit joining recently, haven't you? And there you go. So we are just so close to being done here. All right, let's do a flyover here. Look how nice. Look how nice, my friends. It's going to look really, really sharp. And so we have accurately joined these pieces on and dry fitted them, and it looks really sharp. And there was another thought that was going to come out. Oh, it's very important, now that you got this all set, you're pretty happy about it, considering the glue up, what you're going to want to do is take yourself a marking implement, which is what we call a pencil, and somehow mark it out so that it's very obvious. So, for example, we'll just say A, B, B, C, C. And if we were living in Israel, which this is where I grew up, I lived for 6 years in Jerusalem, we can say Aleph, Aleph, Bet, Bet, and Gimel. And Gimel. Alright? Aleph and Gimel, ABC. So now I know this is how this guy is going to go back together. Another tip for you is that you're going to want to, before you glue this up, sand it, plane it, whatever you got to do. Make sure you don't find yourself trying to sand that pencil mark out by hand. You will regret that. Sanding this one here, this little line here is going to get into sand this here. You can start marring up your wood. These are things you learn through the School of Hard Knocks if you're not thinking it through, if you're rushing, okay? So you want to get all the pencil off of anything you're going to join up, and any markings, do all your almost finish coat sanding in this case, because I certainly don't want to start putting chatter marks and swirlies or whatever onto the wood. So, all right. Now I thought this was the last episode on the shelf. I'm trying to think this through. So it will be for this part, the biscuit joining. The next thing we got to do is now figure out how we're going to attach this to the bottom of the table. And that's how I've done this entire table. I pray, Hashem, Yeshua, for Jesus. I say, thank you, Lord, for giving me ideas. I did some research on what kind of style table I need to make, and nothing really fit my bill. I didn't spend a ton of time looking, but I spent enough time looking through wood magazines as well, just to try to get an idea. And I'm so glad that I just went the way we did, piece by piece by piece. And so just take your time with projects. If you're not feeling it on one day, you're probably going to feel it in another day. The worst thing you could do is make yourself work in whatever it is you're doing, woodworking, art, whatever it is, in the creativity in the arts. Just take a break and take a step back and make sure you're doing it with passion and accuracy and creativity and all that type of thing. All right, thanks for watching this. This is really solid. All oak, by the way. No cheap joinery going on here, pin guns, or anything like this. And so, I'm really enjoying it. I can't believe I'm near the end of the project. So I need to stop yakking and get ready for the next parts. So I'll be gluing this up now. I'll be taking this apart. I did mention that this is a great implement for taking the biscuits out. And let's see how easy or hard this is to come out. All right. There we go. Now, try pulling those biscuits out with your hands, okay? With your fingers. Not coming out that easy. So what we're going to do is use this. Pull them all up. And the choice of glue that I'm going to use, I'm really not even sure if I'm going to be using Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue, look up that episode. I did an episode on experimenting with Type Bond 2 wood glue and Gorilla wood glue. And I'll tell you what, it was a fun episode to do. The Gorilla Glue was, maybe it's obvious for the rest of you, but I just haven't used it. But it's very, very strong. So there you go. All right. I think we'll stop this here, and we'll see y'all a little bit later on. If you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the bell, and you'll be notified that there's another video just like this. We have 666 videos, which I think we just killed that number about an hour ago. Thank you. God bless you, or as they say, we're going to go to the next language, Afrikaans. Tot ziens. See you later.